The Wolfpack faction is back, and this time not just in a tiny tower or as side characters. With the Outlaw Forest End, LEGO has given the Wolfpack their very own stronghold in the bricklink designer program. The set is designed by the same fan who brought us the Viking Village and LEGO Ideas, which was a massive success. But the real question is this set for you, or should you pass it up? So first of all, who is the Outlaw Forest End actually for? And we can break this down pretty straightforward, and I'd say this set is for 4 types of buyers. Firstly, if you're an investor, the bricklink sets are proven winners when it comes to resale on the aftermarket. That's just the fact. Looking at something like the Forestman Stronghold, which came out for $300, it is now consistently selling at $450 and will only increase. It's a safe bet to say this set at $229 will probably be selling in the 300s when it finally ships in a few months, and no one's able to purchase it anymore. And looking at the Siege Encampment, which was also a $229 set, it is already selling for the mid to high 300s after only being out for a couple of months. So even if you're questioning purchasing this set, the best bet might be to make that purchase, especially if you're savvy enough in terms of reselling on eBay and whatnot. Because remember, these are a one and done set. They only sell for 1 week or 2, and once they sell out, that is it. They will never be sold again. That is why they are so sought after on the aftermarket. Second type of person is the nostalgic fans of the Wolfpack. Now back in the early 90s, the Wolfpack only ever got a handful of small sets, a tower, a little raft, and a couple of smaller sets as well. They were popular just due to their sheer villainous side, but LEGO never really gave them the same spotlight as, say, the Lion Knights or Black Falcons, or even the Forestmen for that matter. For years, fans have been asking, when will the Wolfpack get a proper base? And now we finally got it. This set is an answer to that. It takes the scrappy, mysterious vibe of the originals and expands it into a fully fledged outlaw stronghold. If you grew up with those old sets, or you've been collecting Castle and always felt like the Wolfpack were underrepresented, this feels less like just another LEGO release and more like closure. It's LEGO finally saying, okay, here's the Wolfpack set you've always wanted. The third type of person would be the Castle world builders. Now, if you already own Lion Knight's Castle, Forestman Hideout, or any of the other faction sets, this slots in perfectly as the Outlaw base. In the medieval town square, we got one Wolfpack member, which kind of alluded to a future for the Wolfpack faction that was deemed unfulfilled. Well, now it is. It doesn't compete in size with the Lion Knight's Castle, which I believe is how it should be. As well as design, it's not too rugged and living out of trees like the Forestmen, but still not as well-to-do as the Falcons or Lion Knights. With technology like palisades, portcullises, and other structural elements, something I think the Forestman Stronghold went too far on for being a Forestman set, so this set does very well in staying with the established lore of the LEGO Castle theme. And finally, you've got the play-focused buyers. Between the portcullises going up and down, the topple tree ambush mechanic, and the huge outlaw minifigure lineup, this is a story in a box. Kids or collectors who like interacting with their sets are going to love it, and being able to set it up with little scenes playing out amongst the rooms. Tons of interiors and accessories, even a little wagon, and the obvious inclusion of how you get 2 factions to battle against each other. This set does very well for playability and even displayability. But I want to keep in mind this set is not for everyone. If you're a casual collector who doesn't care about Castle or medieval, well, of course, I don't think you'd want this set. And if you're looking for historically accurate sets, this is, of course, not going to be the one for you. And you're best to stick with the architecture themes for that type of historically accurate set. If your display space is limited, the footprint can be a little awkward. It spreads wide with the rocks and trees, and it doesn't have that clean modular feel like other recent Castle sets. So it might be a bit awkward to display, especially when opened up fully. And if you're choosing just one medieval set to spend your money on, I want to point out the Lion Knight's Castle still stands as the flagship centerpiece. For some, it's the better one and done option. And at $230 for this set, I'd really think about allocating those funds to the Lion Knights Castle set as soon as possible, if you can, because it is retiring at the end of this year, and I myself, as well as many others, stand on the hill of it being one of the best LEGO sets in history. So altogether, should you buy the Outlaw Forest Den? If you're any kind of LEGO Castle fan, I'd say most definitely yes, especially seeing how we rarely get Castle and medieval sets as is. It's atmospheric, it's packed with minifigures, and it finally gives the Wolfpack a proper base. For faction lovers and collectors, this is an easy recommendation by me. But if you're a casual buyer or you only want one big castle on your shelf, this might not be the set for you in terms of that classic LEGO looking design. That's what makes it great though. It's not trying to be for everyone. It's unapologetically Wolfpack. And for the fans who've been waiting decades, this is the one you've been waiting for. But that's going to do it for this Should You Buy breakdown. I hope this helped out some of you and gave you some good, nuanced analysis of this set. If you enjoyed, please subscribe. I post Castle, Pirates, and overall LEGO news weekly. And I'll see you in the next video.